Good evening and welcome to the news tonight here on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tracy Shilshi, getting you all the day's top stories, starting with the headlines. Home Minister Rajnath Singh addresses press conference with Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti on the situation in Kashmir, says that an alternative to pellet guns to control crowds will be announced soon. Navy takes up internal audit to rule out security compromise from the Scorpion data leak. Government seeks report from the French shipbuilder DCNS and French Directorate General of Armament. A day after he told the Supreme Court that he did not blame the RSS for killing Mahatma Gandhi, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi rejects the charge that he has softened his attack on the organization. And death toll in Italy's earthquake rises to 247. Thousands of rescuers continue efforts to find survivors. Meanwhile, powerful tremors in central Myanmar killed 3 people and damaged scores of Buddhist pagodas. A top story. Before wrapping up his 2-day visit of Jammu and Kashmir, Home Minister Rajnath Singh appealed to all Kashmiris and political players to come together to resolve the ongoing unrest in the valley. He addressed a press conference along with Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti, who condemned the use of pellet guns.
मैं सभी से अपील करना चाहता हूं, कश्मीर के रहने वाले सभी बहनों भाइयों से मैं अपील करना चाहता हूं कि हमारे कश्मीर के रहने वाले जवानों के फ्यूचर के साथ खिलवाड़ न करें। कश्मीर के फ्यूचर को हम हिंदुस्तान के फ्यूचर से अलग रखकर कदापि नहीं सोच सकते।
Pitching for peace, a better future and dialogue with all political parties. Home Minister Rajnath Singh joined Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti in appealing to all to bring normalcy to the Kashmir Valley.
जो भी कश्मीर वैली के हालात हैं उसको लेकर हम लोग भी बेहद दुखी हैं। इसीलिए कल आते ही मैंने अपनी तरफ से ट्वीट किया था और कहा था कि जमहूरियत, कश्मीरियत और इंसानियत के दायरे में मैं बात करने के लिए यहाँ पर आया हूँ। जो भी बात करना चाहते हैं मैं उनका स्वागत करूंगा।
Let us differentiate between those people who want the resolution of a problem through dialogue, reconciliation, और वो लोग जो छोटे-छोटे बच्चे और गरीब बच्चों को एक्सप्लॉइट करके कैंप्स पे, सड़कों पे पत्थर मारने के लिए तैयार करते हैं। मुझे लगता है उसके बीच में हमें फर्क करना चाहिए।
Pressing upon the prevailing issue related to pellet guns, Home Minister Rajnath Singh proposed an alternative expected to be announced soon. This comes in the wake of widespread criticism of the crowd control device that left thousands of people in the valley blinded.
पेलेट गन का जहां तक सवाल है, उसके बारे में जब मैं पिछली बार आया था मैंने कहा कि मैंने एक एक्सपर्ट कमेटी बना दी है और एक्सपर्ट्स कमेटी 2 महीने के अंदर अपनी रिपोर्ट देगी। लेकिन मैं आपको जानकारी देना चाहता हूं, 1 महीने पूरे हुए हैं और विद इन फ्यू डेज हम लोग इस पेलेट गन का एक विकल्प, इसका अल्टरनेटिव देंगे।
Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti condemned stone pelting and other forms of violence and suggested that casualties will happen when security forces and police stations are attacked.
मैंने कहा कि 95% लोग पीसफुल तरीके से इसका रेजोल्यूशन चाहते हैं। दैट मीन्स देयर इज अ पॉलिटिकल प्रॉब्लम। मगर 5% लोगों ने इसको हाईजैक किया है, तशद्दुद करके वो इस पटरी को रेल से उतारना चाहते हैं। बिकॉज कहीं भी दुनिया के कोने में आज तशद्दुद के लिए कोई जगह नहीं। अगर आपने किसी भी इशू को बदनाम करना है तो आप तशद्दुद पे उतर आइए, कोई आपकी बात नहीं सुनेगा।
Most opposition parties, however, have appreciated the centre's all-party delegation meet to resolve the issue.
अभी तक उनके द्वारा जो किए गए दौरे हैं उसका कोई नतीजा नहीं निकला है। वो कहते हैं हम सबसे बात करेंगे और फिर शर्तें लगाते हैं। ऑल पार्टी डेलीगेशन जाकर के वहां पे हालात सुधारने का काम करेगा। वो कहते हैं हालात सुधर जाएंगे तब हम ऑल पार्टी डेलीगेशन भेजेंगे। केंद्र सरकार कन्फ्यूजन में भरी हुई है और कश्मीर के हालत रोज खराब होते जा रहे हैं।
Let us see, it is a political process, and the current Chief Minister Mehbooba also said 95% people want peaceful solution. What is that peaceful solution? How to arrive at that peaceful solution? She has not explained. How government is going to work on that, we will have to wait and see.
As the Home Minister ended his two-day visit, curfew has been extended to Pulwama district, even as it remained in force in some areas of Srinagar and Anantnag district. This is the 48th day of curfew in Kashmir. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, with continuous discussion over Kashmir unrest, Pakistan was quick to respond by emphasizing that meaningful and result-oriented dialogue on Kashmir was necessary. Pakistan also extended its moral and political support to Kashmiris in their struggle for self-determination. Pakistan Foreign Minister Nafeez Zakaria said that his country has already extended fresh invitation for a dialogue with India focusing on Kashmir.
We continue to believe in this, that dialogue is the way forward, and we, as a responsible nation, we want to resolve all issues peacefully through meaningful and result-oriented dialogue. It's the dialogue that is sustainable, the dialogue which is not fragile enough that it breaks down just with the one slogan. That's it.
All right, on to the other big story of the day. Rattled by the massive data leak on its 6 Scorpion-class submarines, India has taken up the matter with the French government. The Indian Navy has written to the Director General of Armament of France, expressing concern over the incident and seeking assistance in the probe.
Stung by the massive leak of highly classified data on its Scorpion submarines, the Indian Navy took up the matter with France's Directorate General of Armament on Thursday. It has asked the French government to investigate the incident with urgency and share their findings with India. In a statement, the Navy said the matter has been taken up with concerned foreign governments through diplomatic channels to verify the authenticity of the reports on data leak. An internal audit of procedures to rule out any security compromise is also being undertaken. The statement also added that a detailed assessment of potential impact is being undertaken by a high-level committee constituted by the Ministry of Defence and the Indian Navy. Maintaining that the leak happened overseas and not in India, the government has also sought a report from French shipbuilder DCNS, which designed the 6 Scorpion submarines for India at a cost of $3.5 billion. The Mazagaon Dock Limited in Mumbai, where the Scorpion submarines are being built, also denied having any role in the document leak. Meanwhile, opposition pressure continues to mount on the government to clarify on how the leak happened and what impact it has made on the defence establishment.
The defence minister started off with passing the buck. I think this is one of the most incompetent defence minister we have had in free India. He talks about hacking. The Navy talks about the source being outside India without any investigation. This defence minister, we charge, has been careless and is trying to cover up. We need a complete inquiry monitored by the judicial process to get to the bottom of it.
My impression is that Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar and the BJP government are trying to downplay this whole matter and take it very lightly. I think this kind of response is prejudicial to national security.
Running into 22,400 pages, the massive leak of highly classified documents on the Scorpion submarines has set alarm bells ringing in the Indian Navy and the Defence Ministry. The leaked data contains sensitive information on the operation of these submarines, the first of which is almost ready for deployment. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi today rejected the allegation that he made a U-turn on RSS role in killing Mahatma Gandhi. He said he stood by every single word and will continue fighting the hateful and divisive agenda of the organization. BJP, meanwhile, has demanded an apology from him. A day after Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi told the Supreme Court that he did not blame the RSS for killing Mahatma Gandhi, he today rejected the allegation that he softened his attack on the organization. Gandhi said not only did he stand by his words, but he will continue to fight the divisive agenda of the RSS. On Wednesday, appearing in a defamation case, he told the court that he never blamed the RSS as an institution for the killing of Mahatma Gandhi, but the people associated with it.
जो सच्चाई है वो सच्चाई है और उस पे हम कायम हैं। अब देखना है कि आरएसएस के लोगों ने क्या इंस्ट्रक्शंस लेनी है और क्या बताएंगे वो कोर्ट को, क्योंकि हमने कहा है कि जो हमने कहा था वो कि एक इंस्टीट्यूशन के बारे में नहीं कहा था, कि एक विचारधारा के लोगों ने गांधी जी की हत्या की, और ये आज की बात नहीं है।
The Congress echoed Gandhi's remarks, but the party's rival BJP called it a U-turn from his previous statement and has asked the Congress Vice President to admit his mistake and tender an apology.
न यू टर्न है, न माफ़ी मांगने की आवश्यकता है। वो आज भी अपनी बात पे दृढ़ हैं कि महात्मा गांधी को जिसने मारा उसके संबंध आरएसएस के साथ थे।
In the entire country, there is one political personality of one of the union territories who can make any unsubstantiated allegation, speak without facts, level any charge without it being based on truth against anybody. Now, Rahul Gandhi ji is a senior leader of a national party. If he would like to walk on this path, it is up to him. However, a better option would always be to speak on the basis of facts, and if one makes a mistake, apologize and move on.
An RSS worker slapped a defamation suit on Rahul Gandhi over a speech he gave in 2014 while campaigning in Maharashtra for the general election. The Supreme Court asked the complainant to offer his response next week to Rahul Gandhi's clarification. The Congress Vice President had earlier refused to apologize over the remark, with his party saying he would rather face trial. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On to other news, and some good news, in fact, coming in for frequent air flyers. The government has indicated that Wi-Fi facility on board in the Indian airspace could soon become a reality. Civil Aviation Secretary R.N. Chaubey said on Wednesday that a decision on the matter could be taken in as soon as 10 days. With this, the use of internet and making mobile calls would be permitted in the Indian airspace. According to Chaubey, the cabinet's approval would not be required for the proposal which facilitates Wi-Fi availability on Indian as well as foreign carriers only when overflying the Indian airspace. At present, flyers are not allowed to use mobile phones and internet when they are in the Indian airspace. With that, let's take you through what else is making news across the country and nationwide. One of the 4 convicts in the December 16th gang rape incident allegedly tried to commit suicide in Tihar jail today in the capital. Convict Vinay Sharma was stopped from hanging himself by special police personnel and taken to the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Hospital. His condition is stated to be stable now. He, along with 3 others, was sentenced to death in the gang rape case. Peter Thompson, the President-elect Ambassador of the United Nations General Assembly, will reach India on the 29th of August to discuss the ambitious Sustainable Development Goals. He's expected to meet the Prime Minister and External Affairs Minister. Thompson's visit to India assumes significance against the backdrop of the nation leading efforts for early completion of the long-pending reforms of the UNSC. Four Maoists were arrested from Khundi district in Jharkhand today. The arrested men are operatives of the Maoist outfit People Liberation Front of India. In fact, police recovered 4 pistols and 23 bullets from their possession. Lenders will re-auction the now defunct Kingfisher Airlines trademarks, including the Kingfisher logo and the once famous tagline, "Fly the Good Times," today, in their second attempt at recovering a part of the dues of over 9,000 crore rupees. The 17-lender consortium, led by State Bank of India, has also put the flying models, Funliner, Fly Kingfisher and Flying Bird device on the block. It had made a failed attempt in April this year to sell the brands and trademarks of the airlines owned by Vijay Mallya. President Pranab Mukherjee today condoled the passing away of former Governor of West Bengal and Bihar, A.R. Kidwai. 96-year-old Kidwai passed away yesterday after a brief illness. The Prime Minister and Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi also expressed their condolences. He is survived by 2 sons and 4 daughters. With that, a quick break here, but the international news follows in a bit. Stay with us.
Blindness can come in a variety of ways. 3.5 to 3.8 crore people in India are 360 blind. 3 million to 3.5 million Indians can be cured in 10 minutes if they are only refractive index blindness.
Watch Eureka with Dr. D. Balasubramanian, renowned ocular biochemist, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
One of the most influential revolutionaries of Indian freedom struggle, Shaheed Bhagat Singh. Born into a Sikh family, patriotism flowed in his blood at the age of 13. When he formed Naujawan Bharat Sabha to spread the message of revolution in Punjab. In the wake of avenging Lala Lajpat Rai's death, Bhagat Singh and his associates coined the catchphrase Inqilab Zindabad. But towards the end of their rebellion, they had to pay a heavy price for their patriotism. Following the blasts inside the corridors of the assembly, both Bhagat Singh and Batukeshwar Dutt courted arrest. Bhagat Singh was sent to the gallows in Lahore with his fellow comrades, after which he was cremated in Husainiwala on the banks of Satluj.
Welcome back. Let's get you some international news now. 13 people were killed in an attack at the American University in Kabul on Thursday. 2 attackers were also killed nearly 10 hours after they stormed into the complex. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack so far.
As many as 13 people died in an overnight attack by gunmen on the American University in Kabul. More than 40 were reported wounded and are undergoing treatment. 2 gunmen were killed after police entered the building several hours after the shooting started, while the third attacker died detonating an explosives-laden car in front of the university wall on Wednesday.
چوکیارم در سرای خود گرفتیم و تا که این بخواه که دیگه بمب بندازه و فایر کنه سر ما.
The attack began on Wednesday evening with a large car bomb explosion followed by gunfire. The suspected militants then fought their way into the university complex. Elite Afghan forces surrounded the walled compound and eventually worked their way inside.
در سایه نای ششم و متعاقب از او 2 نفر مهاجم داخل پانتون میشه که نیروهای امنیتی، نیروهای پلیس، مخصوصا نیروهای ویژه پلیس در اسرع وقت داخل اقدام میشه که خوشبختانه پلیس در
No one has claimed responsibility for the university raid yet. The American University of Afghanistan is a non-profit private university chartered in the US. It has about 1,700 students, many of whom are adults studying part-time. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the death toll in the Italian earthquake rose to 247 on Thursday, even as thousands of rescuers continued with their efforts to find the survivors. The quake of 6.2 magnitude flattened towns and villages of Accumoli, Amatris, Pescara del Tronto and Quarta del Tronto early on Wednesday. Meanwhile, a powerful earthquake shook central Myanmar as well on Wednesday, killing at least 3 people and damaging scores of centuries-old Buddhist pagodas.
In a dramatic moment, a little girl believed to be about 10 years old was pulled out of the rubble in the Italian town of Amatrice. She was buried for 15 hours after the devastating earthquake that hit central Italy on Wednesday. Rescue efforts were intensified even as dozens are feared trapped in the ruined townships of Amatrice, Accumoli and Pescara del Tronto in mountainous central Italy. Italian army, police and emergency rescue workers joined sniffer dogs in searching for survivors among the remains of the flattened buildings. In the searches that went through the night, people even used their bare hands to dig for survivors in pitch darkness. 2 powerful aftershocks of 5.1 and 5.4 magnitude, however, hampered rescue efforts somewhat. Residents from the Quarta del Tronto town are spending their night in a relief tent.
Hanno passato già dei terremoti negli anni, ogni 7-8 anni c'è un terremoto, ma come questo ormai lungo e brutto, mai morto. Stavolta non so quanti ce ne stati, io ne ho contati ieri, ne ho contati 30.
Un po' bene, un po' male, perché dormire poco. Non si dorme tanto, capito? Perché? Perché la paura è stata tanta. È stato quasi 1 minuto e mezzo di terremoto naturale.
Nearly 264 injured people are hospitalized in Quarta del Tronto. where the hospital had to be evacuated with patients and the injured being treated in the street. Earlier, Prime Minister Matteo Renzi chaired an emergency cabinet meeting to decide on a reconstruction plans for the area. The 6.2 magnitude earthquake struck in the middle of the night, trapping hundreds of people in their homes as they slept. More than 1,000 people were displaced. On Wednesday evening, an earthquake of 6.7 magnitude hit central Myanmar, killing at least 3 people and damaging ancient Buddhist pagodas. Tremors were felt as far away as Thailand, Bangladesh and India, sending fearful residents into the streets. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Scientists have discovered an Earth-like planet orbiting the star closest to the Sun. The planet, named Proxima b, is 1.3 times the size of Earth and is believed to be rocky. According to a paper published in the journal Nature, Proxima b is at the right distance from its star to support liquid on the surface. It is located about 4.2 light years or 40 trillion kilometers from Earth and is the closest of some 3,500 planets that have been discovered beyond the solar system since 1995.
From simulations and from other observations of other systems, transit observations, we expect and we completely trust that a planet with a mass of 1.3 Earth masses is a terrestrial planet, which means that it is similar to Earth in its shape, sort of, in its making. So it's not a gas ball or something. It's a terrestrial one that has a surface. So you can stand, or people, or who else, might be able to stand on it and not like in Jupiter.
And here are more international news updates in Global Buzz. Colombia's government and Marxist FARC rebels signed a final peace deal to end a 50-year-old guerrilla war that once took the resource-rich country to the brink of collapse. Under the historic agreement, the FARC will lay down arms and reintegrate into civilian life. The deal is opposed by 2 former Colombian presidents, including popular right-wing hardliner Álvaro Uribe. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy set out his policy platform during his first media interview since announcing that he will run again for presidency in 2017. Commenting on the Burkini debate after several coastal towns in the southeast and north of the country banned the body-covering swimwear, the presidential hopeful said, and I quote, "We don't cover women behind fabric." He termed the Burkini affair a provocation at the service of a politicized and radicalized Islam. At least 9 more Turkish tanks entered Syria today as part of an operation aimed at driving Islamic State out of the border areas around Jarablus. It also aims at stopping Kurdish militia fighters from seizing territory. This is Turkey's first major US-backed incursion into its southern neighbor. There are now more than 20 Turkish tanks inside Syria. And finally, let's get you all the latest from the world of sports in SportsBeat. The National Rifle Association of India has set up a special 5-member committee to review the below-par performance of shooters at the Rio Games. Olympic gold medalist Abhinav Bindra will head the committee. Indian shooters put up a poor show at the Games, with the 12-member team failing to win any medals. Leander Paes and his German partner Andre Begemann entered the quarterfinals of the Winston-Salem Open tennis with a straight sets win over Chris Guccione and Andresa. The unseeded Indo-German pair won 6-4, 6-4 against the Australian-Brazilian combination. They will next face top seeds Poland's Lukas Kubot and Serbia's Nenad Zemenic. Sri Lankan batsman Tilakaratne Dilshan has decided to call time on his 17-year international career. Dilshan officially announced that the ODI and T20 international series against Australia will be his last as a player. The explosive batsman has played 87 tests, 329 ODIs and 78 T20s. In 2013, he retired from Test to prolong his limited overs career. Manchester City advanced to the Champions League group stage after defeating Romanian football club Steaua Bucuresti 1-0 in the playoff match on Wednesday. Fabian Delph scored the lone goal of the match as he headed in a Jesus Navas cross. City, who had finished fourth in the Premier League last season, will participate in the group stage draw on Thursday. And that's all we have for you on the news tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.